Hi, this is Dave DeVries, and you're listening to the Marvel Card Collector Podcast. Aren't you lucky?
Hello, everybody. My name is Ian Taylor, and you are listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast, your weekly digest of hobby goodness. With me as guest host this week is the Master of Disaster, the host of Marvel in the Brain. Did I get that right? No, it's Marvel on the Brain, isn't it?
Yeah, in, on,
In, on, above.
not wrong.
Okay. And the artist formerly known as Watch Me Open, it's Billy Vezzosi.
Billy.
Did I say Billy?
You said Billy. Am I a villain?
I don't know.
Is that the role I've been assigned?
Monsieur Billy. I am welcome, Monsieur Billy, to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Consider yourself had, sir. How are you?
I am well.
Sunday morning.
Winter. Winter is coming.
Oh, it's really cold over there at the moment, isn't it?
Oh, it's really cold here. I don't know what that was. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I go outside and my snot freezes. Who knows? Who knows what's going on?
No, I would tell you how cold it is, but I can't keep up with the conversions because what I would say means nothing to you because you're.
Well, say it anyway, because at least half the listeners will know, or 72% of them that are in America.
Well, it was 8 degrees Fahrenheit here when I woke up.
Yeah, that over here we have an expression: nippier than a witch's titty.
Okay.
Yeah. So that definitely falls into that category. I've seen images of people in Texas like doing stuff with snow.
Oh, and you know the thing about the southern states here is once they experience a little bit of cold or winter weather, you instantly realize how inept they are at handling it. You know, there's dozens of car crashes within minutes of the first snowfall. They just lose their minds.
Yep, it's pretty much like anywhere south of the Scottish border in the UK. Because 100 years ago, the Thames used to freeze over, and they had frost fairs in London. Not that I was around to see it, but nowadays you'd be lucky if you get snow as far south as London. For example, yeah, it's. I mean, obviously global warming's accelerated that, but things ebb and flow over multiple millennia. In terms of severity of winters and things like that. So anything over here and the first snowfall, and people are like, trains cancelled, can't get to work, can't possibly get to work because no one's geared up for it. So whereas you hardy New Jersey folk,
great, we've got loads of bee juice that we used to brine the roads with.
Yeah, you've got snow plows, things like that.
Yeah,
and people who come and do the snow blowing and things like apparently. Who knows? So our intro this week, our intro artist is Dave DeVries, and you chose Dave DeVries from a list of fine introductions that we could have in this episode. Now,
a little tongue in cheek, a little tongue in cheek,
a little tongue in cheek. Now, is this because Dave has never responded to a message you sent him, and I'm not sure how much.
A single message.
Is that because he's not read them?
No, he's read them.
Okay, but
it's just become apparent that with each message, I've dug myself in a deeper hole as far as awkwardness and fangirling and desperation for a response. It got to feel real Tindery, where I just start talking about my tantamount to like, this is how much money I make in a year. It will be the equivalent of like how hard I was trying to get a response.
Tell me what you just said about your first message.
So Dave lives in New Jersey. I think I'm allowed to say that.
I think he's told us that. Yeah.
I work for a public utility company. The public utility company that I work for happens to service the residential area where Dave presides. And I might have mentioned that in terms of, hey, it would be real easy for me to get to you if, I was going to like get some work done or get something signed by you. and later on, like reading it back, thinking to myself that, I basically just said, hey, buddy, I know where you live.
And you wonder why he's not responded.
Well, no, I mean, now I don't wonder. Now I know. I feel like, an arse, as you would say.
Yeah. But when you're in it, when you're in the moment, You're like, this
Yeah,
is
you're like,
perfectly
this
reasonable.
this is great.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I'm not coming off at all weird.
Who
No,
would say no to this advance?
who would say no to this advance? I bet you're. Does this work with the ladies?
No.
No, no. Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on. Um, I've got a couple of things I wanted to show you actually and talk about, and we're going to open some cards
Okay. How's the new
as well.
house? This is the first time I've seen you in your new home.
Well, my new home is this is thrilling for people. It is gorgeous, but we're in the middle of having loads of building work done, so it's been inordinately stressful for the last month because they are supposed to have finished on the indoor part of the house by now, and yet there's still dust sheets everywhere and things like that. But the thing is, we have got a new bathroom. There were walls knocked down. There was like brickwork showing, and we now have a new
Okay.
bathroom, which is great. And the painting is almost finished. But now they're about to start converting the garage, which is this way. It's a good movement, that. Do you like it? For those on audio, sorry, which is that way. And they're going to convert the garage because we don't have a car because we don't need one. Which Americans are like, what? You don't need a car? What's going on? What kind of a backwards country are you living in? That's basically because well, we've got the state. No, not here. We don't. No, no, we've got
I just want to say too.
You say tube as much as you want, dear. We've got the horses in the stable around the corner, so we're fine, for the horse and carriage. But no,
I want you to be serious so badly.
yeah, I know you'd love it, and I've got a penny farthing outside that I go to work on. No, it's going to be my new studio, so I'll be in there in a couple of months' time and recording this stuff on a much sexier setup with proper shelving behind me and cards on display and wacky stuff like that.
All right.
So I've already got it planned out.
I'm going to for you in the wacky department.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm in a rather dull room at the moment that has yet to be decorated, and there is. If I could 360 around this room, you would be amazed at the amount of in this room.
But you are a ray of sunshine in a bowl of vanilla pudding behind you.
Bless you, sir. Bless you. Have you been? Because you haven't been on for a little while, and then.
No, I'd like to say I'm semi-retired.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this. So the last time we had you on, you were still Watch Me Open. You were still doing your box breaks, which were great, and YouTube and lovely stuff. And then I saw a rather large post of where you used the image from the Incredible Hulk of Bruce Banner walking away. And he did a rather emotional video that brought a tear to the eye, and there was wailing and gnashing of teeth all around. So talk to me about why I don't want you to relive it necessarily because it might be traumatic for you, but just for those who haven't heard of you for 2 years.
I thought we agreed that you wouldn't bring it up, to be quite honest.
Well, we can move on.
Invaded.
This is my arms are long, not that long. But yeah. So, what have you been up to, basically? Where have you been? Where have you been in the wilderness?
In short, as you know, like this whole collecting thing, it could get to be a lot in terms of the amount of mental effort. Just if you're going to collect, whether it's being part of social media groups, eBay, sealed product, direct, e-pack, all that, ComC, grading, whatever your thing is, there's a good chance that it requires a lot of time and diligence if you want to do it in a fun way. Now, extrapolate that to someone who's also trying to make a little coin off of this, and now you've got this life that looks like 10 hours a day where I'm looking at eBay, waiting for listings and to end or to pop up. I want to get this box so I could break it, or I want to get this box because there's a card in there I need, and weighing, juggling am I going to make money here? Am I going to be able to get what I need? Am I going to be able to feed these dogs? And then how am I going to get this Grail card that I don't even know if it's been opened yet? It just got to be too much that I wanted to take a step back. And when I did come back, I was super hyper focused, just doing my high evolutionary stuff now. Everything else is pretty much, if it's not nailed down, everything's for sale. And then Whatnot came along. Whatnot was real fun in terms of helping me purge And I made money on Whatnot. I still, make a little money on Whatnot, but it was less about money. And I did a stream on Whatnot last night, and I was emphatic. I said, this is about being able to see the material of my desk. Right.
Yeah.
I want to get this stuff out of the way. So don't think that this is about, me trying to sell this for as much as possible. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, where you find yourself hoarding, and it's like, why do I have all these X-Men Metal High Series base cards when the character I collect isn't even in the entire set?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at now with my collecting. I'm just trying to move stuff out the door. High evolutionary stuff, it's not going anywhere. I've broadened it to, getting some original art made.
Nice.
Getting some original comic art when it becomes available, because it gets super pricey, especially if you're talking about Silver Age stuff. Graded copies of important cards. I mean, and they're all important because he's only been on 12. So
is that all?
Yeah, I don't know if it's 12. It might be lower than that.
So your spreadsheet,
it might be like 5.
One scroll. Your spreadsheet is one scroll and done.
Yeah,
whereas
with the parallels,
my spreadsheet's like
it's definitely all fits on one page.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's nice to have a focused collection of a character that isn't like everywhere. I mean, the poor buggers who collect Spider-Man.
Oh.
I don't know how they manage.
Even offshoot, like you think about Spider-Man, Wolverine, they're big ones. But then like Silk and X-23. We know plenty of people who collect Silk and X-23, and you would think that it's pretty easy going for them. No, it's very competitive and
it's brutal.
They're lucky to have a guy like Jonathan who's actually helpful, and I've seen him recently moving stuff that I thought, I was like, whoa, are you okay? Is everything all right? Do you need a little money? But no, he's just literally like, when he sees someone who also collects that character, he's interested in helping them.
I know. It's great.
So
he's a good dude.
It's good that there are people like that, because I imagine someone like Spider-Man, you'll be hard pressed to find a collector who's gonna, parse out his collection just for the sake of you building your own.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I'm there's one set I'm collecting, and I just never see the base card of Silk come up, and it's all numbered, and it's just, I think I don't think that's necessarily Silk collectors per se. I think that's just someone who happens to be hoarding or stacking, the kids call it, for that particular set. It is what it is. I'll get it eventually, unless I choose to just drop it like it's hot and walk away. Which
I don't know if you were trying to be nondescript, but like everybody knows what set you're talking about.
What set do you think I'm talking about?
Marvel Gems.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like you were. You gave
was it that
way
poor?
Too much context.
Was it that poor?
Oh, you gave so much.
I need to start this episode again. Let's start this episode again. This is shocking. This is shocking. You see right through me. I'm used to someone who plays along with my japes. Anyway, so
I want to make you better. That's the difference between me and my predecessor.
Good. So, what was it we were going to talk about today? What were we going to talk about? Show me
something.
Today? I was going to show you something. I've got lots of stuff to show you. I want to show you, and I promised that I would do this for someone in the group. I want to show you. No, it's not that.
Good Lord.
I got one of these yesterday. Oh my goodness, it's heavy because it's got stuff in. What's this? I hear you crying.
That looks like some sort of collecting carrying case.
It is an Ultra Pro drawer organizer.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Of a similar, like design for comic books.
Yeah, basically. So what it's doing, I'll have to put it down a sec. Let me get the if I get the picture of the box, it'll look slightly better because then you can see kind of the vibe that they're going.
Okay.
I'm terrible at this, holding it up. So that's what we're going for. So it's basically the Ultra Pro 3 drawer organizer.
Very nice.
and it holds 1,000 plus standard trading cards. It's sized to store top loaders and one touch, but not graded, as I found out. Card size front. So basically, you can put a top loader in the front of the drawer. If I can get one of the drawers out. Oh, come here.
Sort of title the drawer.
Yeah. So basically, just at the front of the drawer here, you've got this little slot, and you can put a top loader in there. So you can put either a card from the set, or maybe a wrapper that you've futzed around with, or even write your own thing. And you can put it on a top loader and just slide it in. Just got this little slot in the top here, which is pretty cool. Now, it does include some dividers, which is great and lovely. It's got 9 with it. You can buy more. Apparently, it's also got a removable lid, but I've not removed it yet. And the drawer's for easy access. But the thing I like about it is that it's stackable. So you can stack one on top of t'other.
Oh.
Very much like in that picture.
Yeah.
So think of it as like a mini long box, I guess, made of plastic for cards. Now, I saw this come up on a UK seller because I've gradually been buying one touches for my auto cards, and I can't afford that many a month, so I'll just get a few each month. And this particular website is a Pokemon specialist website, and they were selling 35.1 touches. They don't stock any other sizes because Pokemon are pretty much one thickness from what I understand. But they did have some of these. So I thought, you know what, I'll try one out. And they'd sent me a discount coupon for my first, after I did my first purchase with them. So I was like, I'll use that, 5% off, thank you very much. So here it is. And it's rather lovely. Now, BCW do something similar. That card bin that you've seen people posting about. Now, the thing is with the card bin, the card bin is a top opening thing. So the top of it opens, but it doesn't have the drawers to come out. So although you can stack it, you'd still need to take the card bin off top and then do that. But this is designed to be stackable. Apparently, I looked at a couple of other YouTube reviews, and one of the fellas says that these two of these fit perfectly into an IKEA Kallax square. Which
I don't know what that means, but it sounds Swedish.
The IKEA Kallax, but you'll have seen them, and basically imitations of them. It's that square shelving with like square cubes in it, and it's like the Billy bookcase that IKEA do. Everyone's got them, and they're very versatile and handy. So I figured I'd get some, and for one touches, it's absolutely perfect. So I will show you the little drawer I've got one touches in. So look how nicely they fit.
Wow.
When they're in the little bags. And it just looks really cool.
For everyone that's just listening, they fit nicely.
Brilliant. I love how we've given color to this for the listeners. So this is clearly an audio version only kind of vibe. But I've got, how many I've got in there? I've got about 25. So I'll probably fit maybe 40, 45 one touches at 35 point thickness into a drawer, which is pretty decent. And then
little pause here, because and obviously everybody's preference is different, and it's if money were no object, it would be a different story. But what's your criteria? What are your qualifications for a one touch?
For one touch for me, it is going to be, this is a bloody good question. It's autos for me. So MCU autos, they're all going to go in one touches, as are my Black Diamond.
Okay. And
so that's going to be the things I store in.
Just know, I don't ask this as, informative help for any collector. This is so I know, what I'm getting when I snatch these one touches out of your home.
Well, you'll be hard pushed because this is only got that many and it's pretty heavy already. It's pretty cool. I mean, I've got me Angela Bassett there.
Okay.
Nice bit of Ange. So I'm basically putting in, a few each month. Now, behind it, I've got some regular cards, a couple of them in top loaders, but most of them aren't. And the I guess my first critique of it is because it's designed to fit one touches as well and top loaders. If you've just got cards in penny sleeves, you've got a fair bit of room down either side. Now, it's fine if you're going to have them stacked and you're just pulling the drawers out, but still, they can move around. The other thing is that I don't have a divider in these yet, but because it's a smooth kind of box, there's nowhere for the dividers to actually slot into. Whereas I think with the BCW ones, you've actually got like grooves down it, so you could slot them in. So these, you're kind of, if it's not a full box, I've put these in, stop these falling over, to stop the one touches falling over. But what I like about it is the draw aspect, which is great. The only downside to that I will say is that when you pull the drawer out, let's pull out this one here. Right. You're watching me open, you see? No,
if only
nothing,
listeners can see the eyebrows.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So if I get to a certain point, it just falls out. There's nothing. You need something on the back of the drawer, just as a catch to stop it, because you get it to there, and if this had more stuff in it, it would just just fall. So that's a little bit annoying. But for what if I was going to use this for the majority of my collection, I think that'd be an issue. But there's still going to be a lot of stuff in binders. So these for the one touches and for the stuff that I want to rotate display wise, perfect.
Hopefully NASA will consult on the next one.
Yeah, hopefully. And one of the reviews said that if they combine the best elements of the BCW card bin and these, you'd have the perfect thing.
I wonder. I don't know how it works with patents and proprietary and design and all that, but
they're cool.
Limitation there. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's like the whole thing in the Batman Lego movie. Does it come in black or very, very dark grey? Well, it's just very, very dark grey. That's pretty much it. But
I mean, I'm all for anything that saves space and makes it easier to find things.
Yeah, and that absolutely this would. And I might, if I ever did my cat collection in top loaders, I can see me getting into it with the dividers. Like having a divider for gems, for Fleer Ultra Spider-Man, for Vibranium, that kind of thing, so I can see which set is which. That I think that would appeal to me. And it's kind of like those old wooden drawers you got in libraries, with library cards, record cards. It kind of feels like that kind of vibe. When the drawers shut, they do actually kind of sit in a little bit, and you'll see that's gone in. So I can't just pull that now. I have to lift it. So that's good. You just need the same kind of control at the other end to stop it from falling out. And there is a little bit of a gap just at the top there because of the fact that the drawer just sits down slightly. So it's not completely sealed in terms of, if you were anal about dust. I mean, the stuff that I'm going to have in here is going to be team bagged. And, it's going to have a bag around it anyway. So it's less of an issue. But anyway,
a lock would be nice.
Put it down. It would be. Yeah, I'm going to put it down because it's really heavy. But yeah, I like them, and I probably will get a couple more because BCW stuff is really difficult to get in the UK. That's kind of Ultra Pro or nothing really. Although I can get BCW stuff from Germany, but it's an awfully long way to go. Not as far as America, of course.
Bavarian card works, of course.
Yeah, they're wooden over there. I'm just going to have a little slurp. Hang on. And welcome back from that commercial break. Billy, thoughts of you've kind of been standing looking in the window at what's going on in the hobby from a point of view of the fact that you kind of stepped out of it. So you've kind of had a year and chat. When was it you kind of watched me open and you threw it back? It's about a year. It's been quite a year. I think you'll agree.
For the hobby.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on what's kind of the general vibe of what's been happening over the last year, and the market having gone up and then had the air let out of it rather suddenly? And
I mean, we're not political science experts, but the world economy clearly has had effect on
the world economy. Yeah,
the microcosm of the card economy and even adjacent collecting hobbies. It's still grown. I feel like we've still grown through that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that's been a little chaotic to see people coming in and their expectations. I think you know, I don't think you have access to Whatnot over there, but like there are so many Marvel card sellers on Whatnot. And that I feel like has gone up exponentially, you know, through this little growth that we've had in the last year. And a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about, they're kind of just walking around in the dark. You know, they don't know what they're opening. They don't know characters and names. You know, they're saying Mr. Fan Two Stick. You know, I mean, like you laugh, but so, you know, there might be some unqualified people out there, you know, leading trends as far as what's popular. People are getting desperate for products still, right? Like product is still, physical product is still pretty hard to come by. So you've got like Panini out of Germany doing a bunch of stuff. You got these TCGs, like
which is exactly what we're going to open in a minute, by the way. We're going to open some
fun.
of this.
Okay.
Marvel Versus. We'll come back to that.
So, you know, there's product out there, a lot of movie sets coming out from Upper Deck. We do hear a lot of sets being announced, like whether it's officially, unofficially, sketch cards getting leaked on eBay, you know, people putting APs up. But, you know, there's a good variety of sets coming out. And I don't know which ones like would be uncouth to mention. So I don't want to say any names, but I mean, I feel like there's about 12 outside of the regularly scheduled programming, we'll say, you know, like your masterpieces, your annual, your premiere, you know, the ones you expect to come every year. But like at least a dozen others that I've heard of and some seen cardstock for that you wouldn't have expected. So it's interesting how it almost feels like Marvel is starting to model themselves after other card, you know, hobbies like sports. I don't collect sports, but I'm privy to a little bit of it. And there's so much product.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
So much product. It's like every week, you know, it's like, and it's all the same license holder. So it's the same company and they're putting out the same, you know, it's the same players. It's just a different overlay. It's a different background. It's a different brand name.
Yeah. And the price point can vary by hundreds of dollars depending on what that brand name happens to be.
And what's funny is when you start to think about rarity and what like 101s in a given year, for let's just, you know, Tom Brady, you know, everybody knows who Tom Brady is. There could be 200 Tom Brady 101s in a given year.
Yeah. It's absolutely bonkers. He's just retired the second time and hopefully final. Because well, much as I love him being a Patriots fan, he kind of should have quit while he was ahead, really. But never mind, eh?
But so yeah, I'm kind of getting the feeling that, you know, in terms of just putting out more, that's where we're heading a little bit.
Oh, it certainly seems to be evident in the parallel craziness of Spider-Man Metal Universe. I mean, that was eye-watering. I mean, I got wind of a potential idea for a product that was coming that I can't and won't talk about, but it could have had up to 20 different parallels.
Wow.
Through various, which is very much what you get with, I don't know, I'm just trying to think. I've dipped my toe briefly into NFL stuff. And you would have different color parallels in blasters. Then you'd have a different size of box. So it wouldn't be a hobby box, it'd be a retail box. You had about 6 different configurations of how the boxes could be sold through different channels. And each of them had exclusive parallels in.
Right.
It was absolutely bonkers. So I have a feeling I have a feeling there's probably more of that coming down the pipe, although I actually hope not. So I think Spider-Man Metal Universe was kind of a touch excessive. That said, you know, a lot of character collectors have really enjoyed it. So
yeah, but it also makes it a lot more daunting of a task. You know, when I came around or back around, you know, just 2 short years ago, the trend was be a character collector because you could be complete. fairly easy.
Mm.
Let's say seven seven parallels. If you wanted to go for printing plates, 101s or whatever. But now it seems like in terms of ease, if you want to collect, you probably have an easier time being a set collector, picking a parallel, doing a whole set of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of people have been doing that on masterpieces, for example. Purple.
Yeah.
People often go for a purple set because it's actually, I mean, depending on the year. I mean, purple for MM 2018 is gorgeous
Yeah.
to look at.
It definitely purple in 18 definitely. I feel like it's theme with
Yeah,
the art style.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, it is interesting that. What's been the weirdest thing you've kind of seen happening, or the weirdest trend, or the thing that just you didn't see coming? I'll put you on the spot now because
Yeah, I think honestly, and it's not something I've seen a lot, but it's definitely the weirdest thing that I've seen. Um, Custom slabs.
oh yeah, yeah, I've seen a few of those.
Custom
I don't,
slabs is by far the weirdest thing that I've seen. And like I said, we're not talking about everybody's got one, but just the idea of a custom slab that has no professional consideration or authentication or grade or effect on value. It's
mm-hmm,
just basically a marked up one touch
mm,
that you can open.
mm-hmm.
That's been one of the weirdest things that I've seen.
Yeah, yeah. There's one keeps popping up on eBay for my character, and I keep looking at it and going, uh, and then I have to walk away because I'm like,
And to
no,
each his own.
yeah,
I'm not poo-pooing anyone who likes them, but it just for what I think of it in terms of a slab, what I see as the purpose of a slab existing. Um, I don't think a personalized one or a custom one checks any of those boxes for what I would need it for.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Again, if you dig them, then fine, go for it. But just me personally, I think I'm the same as you. I just look at it. I'm like, where does that fit in my collect? Why do I want it? Because I've got the card that's in it. It's a fairly common card. It's a '90s card, and I'm looking at it and thinking, well, it looks nice. Maybe not quite how I'd have designed it. And then you get subjective with it. It's like, which I guess is the same subjectiveness that people have with SGC versus PSA versus CGC and all that sort of malarkey.
Right.
Because people, there are stands for each and every one of those camps. Personally, I've always preferred PSA on cards. And I know that with comics, most people's go-to is CGC. But I know that even with CGC, certainly on the comics, you can get the header, the paper. You can have like borders added to it, and you can customize that a little bit.
Yeah.
I look at those and I'm like, I don't. I want it to be just the plain normal thing it is, so I get that uniformity. But also, I want the comic to stand out. I want the header to be quite plain, so that the thing that's been slabbed actually stands out. That's why I like PSA.
Right.
Because it's
It is a
fairly.
plain header.
It is very plain, and it doesn't get in the way. Humdrum, yeah, that one word for it. But the CGC ones are lovely, and I guess they do line up quite nicely with the books. So
Right. Who was it? HGA does it with cards where you can get a character on your
I think
slab?
so, yeah. HGA. There's so many of them. Beckett, obviously Beckett is the one that looks a bit more artistic, I guess, because their logo is a bit flowerier, and it tends to have a different kind of layout. And some people really dig Beckett stuff, especially for the subgrades. And apparently, it's really difficult to get that black 10 with Beckett stuff. But no, I'm personally PSA, but everyone's different. But yeah, custom slabs, it would be like, well, it's just for show. It literally, that's all it is. It's just a display thing.
Yeah.
So, which is one of the main reasons.
And how much of what we own are we displaying for the masses to see?
Well, not very much, which is why I've gone down the route of having these one touches, so I can just quickly scroll through this drawer and have maybe change up the display every week or so, just to keep it fresh. So I'm actually looking at some of the cards rather than them all being stutched away. They all get a turn in the spotlight.
So what would you qualify as odd, weird things that you've seen?
Well, actually, funny, if you're going back to Whatnot, it was weird from my point of view. I think we can see Whatnot over here. I think we can view it and do it. It's just that time zones just don't work for me at all. Because, when you guys are going on there, it's evening your time usually, because that's when you get your biggest audience. Is why it's why TV, for TV broadcasting over decades hence, 9 p.m. on a certain evening is prime time TV audience. So I get why it's on at that time, and it just simply doesn't work for me over here. And I don't think you can watch them back. But to be fair, I'm also time poor in that regard. I don't really have time to rewatch them, even if I did. So for me, I tell you what was quite weird is when Whatnot kind of took off. A lot of people whose content I'd be used to seeing pretty much disappeared from anything I could watch or anything I would watch. It all suddenly became very desolate. So you started doing stuff on there. Amanda started doing stuff on there, and it was just kind of like I was here like, where's everyone gone? Which was a little bit discombobulating. What else is weird? Not sure. I might have to come back to you on that one because we've talked about quite a lot of weird.
Yeah,
on this
it's your
podcast.
Question, so it's pretty,
no, it is a good question. No,
pretty, it just came.
It just get well. I think embarrassing is probably a bit harsh. And I think you need to take a long, hard look at yourself, young man. No, I didn't have that prepared. It just occurred to me to ask it as you were talking. Is there anything that's in the pipe? So we can talk about sets that have been officially announced and sets that maybe have been put into the public domain, regardless of unofficial or officialness. Any of those that you might be tempted to wade back in on, or you think your character's
Ultra Avengers?
Yeah.
I mean, the easiest way to get me interested in a set is to put my guy in it, and that seems like the next time we'll see him.
Mm-hmm.
We've had conversations about him being in an insert set, and is he, isn't he, sort of thing. Even though we said he was, but not sure if he is. High Evolutionary for the uninitiated. He's a Marvel character for the only slightly initiated.
What's Marvel?
Timely Comics.
Yeah, you're a Marvel. That's what you
are. So that's the next thing that I think would tempt me. But even then, I'll probably take an approach of just aftermarket and singles and try to piece the cards together that way. I think with the amount of parallels, ripping to collect is too gambly.
Yeah,
and that's someone who loves to gamble. I can get lost in Atlantic City. And I mean like no carton lost, not like, I won't know where I am. Like you won't know where I
am. His phone's pinging, says he's a mile out to sea.
Right. And so for someone like me to say that's a little too gambly for me, I think that I'm proud of it. It's a responsible observation I made. But yeah, for the small area that I'm trying to collect in, it's just there's too much disappointment, and I've got stores of disappointment whenever I need to tap into them.
Yeah, I'm sure we all have, don't we? But when you're talking about gambling, it put me to mind because we had a quick chat before we started recording. Tell me about the gamble you took last night when you ordered your pizza. Because I just think it's a funny story.
So I don't know. You guys have delivery apps there.
Yeah,
we have one called DoorDash. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, we don't have it.
Okay.
But I've heard of it. Yeah.
So I picked a random local pizza place because it's New Jersey and there's 20
Hundreds.
within a 5-mile radius. I ordered a 3-topping pizza, and I put in the special instructions. Ignore the order, surprise me, please don't call me, bring me something that I don't know what it is. And I just, I didn't feel like making a decision.
I love it. I love
I'm
it.
in a
Your choice.
relationship with myself, and,
Yeah.
and we're both arguing over what to have for dinner.
Yeah. Chef's choice.
Yeah.
As it is, they chose something that was quite plain sounding.
Yeah, it was margarita with meatball, but I was hoping, like I said to you, that the show, the pizza guy was going to see the order ticket and think to himself, "Oh my gosh, this is the moment I've been waiting for. Someone's finally giving me free reign to make them whatever I want."
Right, I didn't realize it was just a free topping thing. You missed that out earlier on, because if you're going to get free
yeah,
reign,
because I wanted to be at a certain price point. Otherwise, they'd have been like, okay, here's a loaf of bread.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there is that. Or we could have gone to town and you've had things like artichoke and fresh truffle on there and things like that, which would have been. I'm not sure you have pizza places around you that do fresh
like
truffle.
Artichoke. We don't do fresh truffle here.
No. Okay. Artichoke is good. We've just got Domino's around here, and that's it, pretty much.
Oof.
It's a small town, so it's all we got. Or I make my own. I mean, I don't do the bases, but the rest of it.
Yeah. We can take the horse.
Who? Sorry.
You could take the horse.
I could take the horse. I could take the horse. The reason I asked you to repeat it, I thought you were talking about having a horse like on a pizza, like
Oh no.
Just, yeah. But,
no, the horse that you claim to own.
Yeah, the horse that I didn't claim to own. It just came with the house. We bought the house. It was a horse with a house. Anyway, I have no idea what we're talking about anymore.
Is there really a horse?
No, there isn't really a horse.
Oh.
Horse. There is.
Well, you got me going back and forth.
No,
I have this fantasy of you riding a horse.
If you want to go with that in your head as an image, I'm okay with it.
Top hat and foxtails. Riding boots.
It's fine. Listen, every horse I've ever met is pretty much to a horse bitten me. Yeah, horses just seem to not dig me as a because horses, from what I understand about people who are horsey people, and if media is to be believed, a lot of people in America are, because they kind of ride them around a lot to do their work. I think I'm watching the wrong type of American pop culture, but anyway, horses kind of have that vibe where they can tell, whether they like people or not. There's a bond between animal and man, beast and human. I think I'm missing that gene, because they just if I get too near to a horse, especially the bitey end, it just seems to fancy having a chomp. Don't know. I don't think I've ever told anyone that on this podcast. So there you go. You found out something new. Do you want to open some cards?
Off the rails with Ian Taylor.
Yeah, we have gone completely off the rails. Should we open some cards?
Yeah, let's open some cards.
Let's open some cards, and you get to watch me open. That's the second time I've used that joke today, and I'm probably going to use it a third time, just to warn you. So, the eagle-eyed, no, that's the wrong expression. The observant, the followers, will have known that I opened some of these with my little girl and my Mr. Felicia Heidi Instagram a couple of weeks ago. What we did then is you can buy them in a number of formats. You can either buy a little mini binder kind of thing, which is it's a bit rubbish as binders go, but it's for kids, which comes with quite good kind of inserts that slide in and out. So you could slide these out and put them in a different binder if you wanted to. And there's a fold-out checklist thing at the back that's kind of, again, you could slide that out. And then it's got these really thin kind of pages. So, I mean, like I said, you could keep the set in here, but I probably wouldn't choose to.
Now, is this set something that you can find locally?
Yeah, I could buy this at the corner store, literally.
Really?
So, which is unusual for the UK to have any kind of thing. And that's the thing, because Panini couldn't release this in America, even if they wanted to, because of the Upper Deck license. So when they do have products to bring out in the UK, it is very accessible. You don't have any of this hobby store diamond distributor malarkey.
Yeah. So good to know for our Europe-based collectors.
Well, this is the second Marvel versus set Panini have done. The first one came out a couple of years ago. The second one was out in Europe, I think Germany especially, in 2022. So this is technically Marvel versus 2022, but it's only been released in the UK in January 23. I think it's out in Italy as well. And I have a feeling a lot of Panini stuff ends up South America as well. They do their own versions. So you'll probably be able to get the cards from there. And indeed, if you're a character collector and your character's in here, you might end up with a card that's got a slightly different copyright thing on the bottom or something like that, or maybe in a different language, which is often the way with Panini stuff when it gets released in Latin and South America. So you have that, and that came with some packs and a little flyer, and you can buy boxes off the Panini website. So there's a little flyer for those. So you could buy a whole box if you want to, which is going to set you back about $35. So, not too crazy. And it is literally just that. It's 160, I want to say 160 cards. So I'm going to say 160 cards while I find out the actual number. I don't know what the actual number is off the top of my head, but I think it's about 160 cards.
We have parallels?
No, that's the thing. Panini don't mess around with that stuff. It's 160 cards. Some of them are shiny. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Some of them are shiny just because they happen to be shiny. Some of them are plain just because they happen to be plain, which is what always cracks me up about people who open the stickers, the Panini stickers. They go, oh, I've got a red foil one. No, all the copies of that sticker are red foil. Just happens that number 62 is a red foil sticker. But I think it's the expectation of what people want to expect. So this is the other way you can do it. So you can buy what's this called? I think it's a multi-pack. There you go, multi-pack. Says at the top here. Multi-pack there, and you've got 5 packs, and you've got a limited edition card. So this limited edition card is Venom and Carnage, and you can only get it in this multi-pack. Okay. If you buy
Bianchi?
I'm sorry?
Is that Bianchi?
Oh, I've got no idea. We'll get into the artist in a minute. This one came with a limited edition card of the Avengers. And there is another limited edition card, which is Thor and Loki. Now, crazily enough, the images on the limited edition cards are the ones that are on the packs. So basically, It's that pack art as a limited edition. When it says limited, it's basically a speckly foil one. Now, the one that comes in this of the Avengers, all good, fine, happy days. The one that comes in here, you see all these packs attached to this cardboard. So's the card. It's really strong tape. So I've opened 2 of these so far, and I've gotten out 2 of these cards. Oh, hang on. How's this card affixed to my finger? Because it's impossible to remove this limited edition card without damaging it.
No.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's a beautiful card. And I was going to
not only is it warped, it's curved in the middle, but the back, there's an adhesive from and the backing of the pack. I'm just describing for the people at home. There's a backing of the package that the card was affixed to, and there's this industrial strength adhesive, some sort of advanced polymer that is undetectable by my eyes.
And you can see it's ripped some of the
it has ripped some of the surface of the card off.
Yeah. So getting these. So basically, I've opened 2 of these so far, and you're going to wince, viewers and listeners, when you see me opening the 3rd one. Because look, it happened to the first one I opened as well. In fact, this card had even more damage. If you can see it, the adhesive ripped off some of the card. Actually started to rip the back layer.
I can assure you guys, that's the card. It has nothing to do with anything on his fingers.
Yeah. Hey, if it was anything other than Venom and Carnage, probably. But I'm not a symbiote guy. But but this is beautiful, and you can see it's done it again with that one. It's curved. But because you have to kind of pull it like that to be able to get it off. It's almost impossible. So I will be writing.
Hair dryer. Can we try a hair dryer? I don't think you own a hair dryer. I'm sorry. It's a sensitive subject. I didn't want.
Yeah.
Forget I said anything.
Honestly, I don't think it'll work because it is proper. They've basically used too strong an adhesive tape. They've put a strip of tape along on here, and then some machine has just put the packs and the card on, which probably explains some of the curve actually. Because if you look, that's actually curved in the pack. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah,
it's got a curve to it, and I think that's the way it's been placed on there by whatever mechanics put it on there. So I've got these, and I specifically wanted to be able to because I'm not collecting the set. I'm getting them because they're a fun rip, and I can get them locally, so I'm taking advantage of it. And in the very first pack I opened, my daughter opened actually, and our first thing, she got me the black cat. So I've got the black cat. So
Has
I'm
a
happy with
special red foil border.
it's not even a foil border. It's just the normal color.
No, that looks special.
It
Limited.
is special. It is special. Curved for a different reason. No, I will be contacting Panini because I was hoping to be able to send one of these to Joseph Reed, who's a big Venom guy, and one to Kevin Moses, who's a big Carnage guy, and then the other one I just have as a trader for anyone else who happen to be into their symbiotes. So what I'm going to do is, and when I'm going to open this one, I'm fully expecting this one to be as effed up as these two. I'm going to be writing a strongly worded letter to Panini asking for a replacement for each card. Whether or not I get it, who knows? But anyway,
send you a ball of tape. Here's your card.
Anyway, let's open this. I'm getting in with the scissors here. This is fascinating to listen to, which is why our podcast is now on YouTube, because it really saves me time, actually, believe it or not.
Wait,
it saves me having to do all those tasting.
On YouTube?
Yeah, we put this on YouTube now. Where have you been? For about 10, 12 episodes now? So you're going to be on YouTube. Not right now. You're wishing you'd won something else, aren't you? You're buffering. You're buffering, aren't you? I'm going to carry on because who knows what hijinks you're up to. So we will be opening these. Come back, Billy. Come back. Sorry. There we go. All right. So you can see I'm taking the wrappers.
Touch a stage fright.
Look at it. I mean, that one's actually come off. Some of these, when I was taking them off, the actual packets were ripping open. So the packets were opening themselves. I'm going to save the Venom card till last because it's going to hurt. Oh, I don't know if you can hear the sound, but it's just
no.
It's just not. That's really putting up a fight. That is not cool. Oh,
yeah.
So yeah, thanks, Panini.
And you're quite wiry, so I would expect you to be able to get that off easily.
Yeah, I'm used to being able to do this stuff, but no. Hang on, this one. Interestingly, this card, if you look at it, it's not stuck on that edge on the adhesive. That's loose like that. I've not lifted that. So this bit of adhesive here hadn't stuck to the card. In fact, I can feel that. That's not even sticky.
Okay.
So I don't think it's because it's not stuck to the card and then ripped off with half the card layer on it. That wasn't sticky.
You just try to breathe hot air on it.
So it's only stuck down at one end. So I'm going to try your method.
Breathe on it. Now you have to add a not safe for work tag.
Well, if this does come off cleanly and I send it to someone, they'll probably have my DNA on it. I can hear a ripping sound already. I don't know why you asked me to do that. It's just
I don't know why you agreed to do it.
Well, I agree to do lots of things, hence this podcast. But anyway, to be fair, it may have worked because I've got the tiniest bit of adhesive there, just there. But I'm going to just try and just get that off. So almost clean. Almost clean. It's just not quite. I might be able to roll it. But anyway, yeah, that's as clean as you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's all right. That'll do. 1 out of 3 I've managed to save.
The hot mouth of Ian Taylor prevails.
Yeah. Dial at AMCC pod for 30 seconds of hard, smutty mouth. There we go. So there's your Venom Carnage one. Let's open some of these packs. So I want you to tell me Loki, Cap, or Carnage. Loki, Cap, or Carnage. Loki.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, we're going to open the Thor Loki pack first. And you can get a sense of what these beautiful things are like. They're kind of wax paper, these packs. So I think they're recyclable, unlike the foil ones that Upper Deck do, which will be clogging up the internals of a turtle for many years to come, probably. So some of the cards have got a beautiful foil on them. I think it's the higher numbered ones. There's some certain subsets within it.
Okay.
That's a face-off card.
Domination.
So that's pretty cool, and that's got a nice foil. The back of them is usually pretty plain.
Okay.
Just says face-off card, if that's what it is. Some of them have got a bit more information on them. We'll get to that in a minute. But generally speaking, there you go.
Party in the front, business in the back.
No, the collector. So the artwork's brilliant. It's reused artwork from comics, but it's stuff. It's refreshingly different to anything I'm seeing on the UD sets. It's nice, and it's kind of got a gloss. You see there, the character's got a different spot gloss on to the background. They're really nice. They're really nice cards. Hella.
Oh, what a great Hella.
Having a hell of a time there. Hey.
Actually, that Hella looks. I think that might be the Hella from Women of Marvel Series 2.
Pass. Good bit Kang. Oh, how excited are you about Quantum Mania?
Oh man.
Oh, don't the trailers look good?
It's going to be great.
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Might actually do a cinema. I didn't do a cinema one for Wakanda, partly because I was too busy when it was out. But it's just come on Disney Plus, so I need to have a day off so I can watch it. Thor, Lady Thor.
Lady Thor.
Seen that one before. And finally, Malekith. A character you see in many sets these days.
Yeah.
Again, you can just see with that dark background, the gloss really stands out.
The little matte to gloss.
Yeah, it's nice. It's kind of a semi-gloss, kind of an eggshell kind of vibe they've got going on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the, like I said, it goes up to about 160. So there's different like cards 1 to, I don't know, 90 for the sake of argument, will be just generic, regular stuff. And then they'll start doing little subsets, kind of like Marvel Universe 3 did back in 92, So you've got chase sets that are within the main numbering, if that makes sense. Right. Cap or Carnage?
Carnage.
Carnage. Right. Let's open a Carnage.
Nice guys finish last.
Right. So our top one is Thor. And what this is, it's an alter ego card. So it's got two images, one of her in civvies and one of her as Thor.
Yeah.
So alter ego. So that I think that's one of the first kind of insert sets, card 93.
It might be
that little run. Nice. I like those. And then we have this is a group card. That's pretty much explanatory.
So the big question that you might not know the answer to is these subsets after the main run of the base set. Do they come in 9s?
I'll tell you straight away. I don't think they do, is the honest answer. Because in this binder pack that you got, so this binder that it comes in has got like a slide-in pouch in the front and back cover. So you can actually slide out.
Very marsupial-like.
A checklist.
Okay, a visual checklist.
A visual checklist. And it actually tells you the artists as well and the issue that it comes from.
Man,
how
great
is that? How wonderful is that?
If a hobby box came with a visual checklist.
Can you imagine? So basically, we go up to card 80, 1 to 80, and then it goes 81 to 95 of the alter ego. Then group cards are 96 through 115. So no, it doesn't do 9s. Face-off cards.
Who was the fellow from Skybox in the 90s that said, he was
Ken Baroff.
Oh man, I remember listening to that one thinking like this guy.
Yeah,
had his head screwed on straight.
Yeah. Then you got face-off cards. Then you've got versus cards, and finally action cards. Now the action cards are interesting because they use iconic artwork from the 60s up to now for the characters. So when we get to one of those, you'll see what I mean. So for example, there's a Thor card that's got Jack Kirby on. There's a Captain America and Iron Man that's Big John Buscema. Doctor Strange is Steve Ditko, but X-Men is Jim Lee. So it's like the iconic creative that you would expect for those characters. So we're going to go with Cap now, the Cap pack, and we've got a Carnage pack and a Cap pack to go. That's just happens to be the characters on the thing. Doesn't mean say anything different is in them. Right, we have now. This is a good one. This is a versus card. Bullseye.
Okay.
Daredevil. Look at the foil on that.
You know,
It's beautiful.
Pretty weak character, choice for the villain.
Bullseye.
Yeah,
Amanda's going to be after you with a steak knife.
I don't get him. I think people that like him, they're just kind of disconnected. Almost you could say full flight from reality.
Okay. Amanda, you know where he lives. Eternals group card.
Oh wow.
And again, I think that's probably some classic art. I've put the thing down.
Celestials
so
in the background.
Yeah, Celestials. What did you think of that film, by the way?
It's a vehicle. Like everybody expects every movie that comes out to be Endgame. It's a vehicle. It served a purpose. It's a footnote.
But it introduced the characters
and some concepts, and they had to move some things along. Like this. Everybody calm down. You're not going to love everyone, and it wasn't horrible. I think most people only thought it was horrible because it wasn't incredible.
IKEA full collection.
Binary.
That's all I'm going to say. Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus. All
Dr.
right.
Octopus. We've got Wolverine. So some good stuff here. So what I'll probably do is I'll just help a few people out who are character collectors or do some trades. Nick Fury.
Okay.
And Groot. So if you're after female characters, my daughter will probably have stolen them all. So I just kind of wanted to preempt anyone who's getting excited over any of the female characters. I pulled a Spider-Gwen card the other day. And I haven't given it to her yet, but she's got her eyes on it. Star-Lord Alter Ego.
Okay. The modern Star-Lord.
She's cool. Yeah, modern Star-Lord, not the old school. Daredevil. I think that's a David Mack artwork.
Oh, I like that.
That's nice. I love David Mack's artwork on that series. We have group card Invaders.
Okay. Yeah, Namor.
Who's that in the middle? Is that Winter? No.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's at the bottom.
Human Torch.
Cool. I like it. Oh, Bucky, yeah. I think it was in those days. Moon Knight. There's a few big Moon Knight fans around these days.
Yeah.
It's a good Moon Knight. We have...
it's funny. I never made the comparison or connection, but like when the Moon Knight show was coming out and outlets were trying to be like, this is who Moon Knight is, they used the comparison like Marvel's Batman quite frequently. And I've never seen it.
No,
I'm not the deepest cut Moon Knight. I've read some Moon Knight. I followed Moon Knight. I know about him. I knew about him before the show, obviously. But I never. If you would have had me pick, that wouldn't have been where I went.
Yeah, I see. The thing is, I'd have gone with Iron Man because the most obvious comparison is they're rich guys who have gadgets.
Right.
Who don't actually have superpowers. Whereas Moon Knight does actually have powers, albeit Egyptian ones. Galactus. And we have, so these are character cards, and then we have Loki.
Oh, that's a great Loki.
That's a good Loki, that is.
It's a mischievous Loki.
I love that show. So, since we last recorded an episode, Loki, the set, has had its solicitation from Upper Deck.
It has.
And Tom Hiddleston signing. And I'm really excited that Jonathan Majors is signing as He Who Remains, aka
Really?
Kang. Yes. So his first autos for Marvel cards will be in the Loki set.
Is there going to be a quad auto with Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson's signed.
Jonathan Majors and Sophie?
No, Sophie hasn't signed that we've seen on the solicitation. Richard E. Grant has, however, and I'm beyond excited because Richard E. Grant, glorious purpose. It's such a good cameo. Face-off card.
Wow, Madam Mask.
Madam Mask, yeah. That's a good one. We have a Guardians of the Galaxy 31st century. Oh, just something else. It's that one. It's Guardians. It's a group card, but it's a future Guardians, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, you got a Charlie 57. Is that his name or whatever?
I've no idea. I didn't even know this existed about 10 seconds ago.
And Yondu.
I don't really follow any current Marvel comic stuff at the moment, really. We've got Gobby.
Okay.
Now, interestingly, this is a character card, and the character cards do have a different back. They've got a kind of a power rating.
Huh.
If you can figure out what the symbols are, which I think is fighting, strength.
I think speed, intelligence, fighting. No, wait. What's that? What's the clipboard?
The one at that one, that's a battery.
Oh, battery,
Yeah.
energy. Okay. So speed,
You got
energy,
fighting,
fighting,
intelligence, powers, maybe.
electrical,
What's the bottom one?
strength.
Strength. There we go. So yeah, I'm not sure what the electrical one is. Might make more sense if you look at a different character. We've got Hulk. That's a character card, but that's not got.
Okay.
So what is the 133? Sorry, hang on. I'm trying to
I don't
figure
buy
out
Hulk's teeth being that white.
strange. What's the 100?
You figure in Hulk form, he's eating all kinds of garbage.
So here we go. So the versus cards are the ones with the power ratings on.
Okay.
So there's a kind of a TCG element to that particular run. And that runs cards 126 to 150. So you've got 25 different characters in there, which
you think
will
there's
have
like a werewolf stomach situation going on with Hulk, where if he eats a garbage meal and then turns back to Banner, he has like an enormous bellyache?
I don't know, but they touched on it in She-Hulk on the MCU thing, where they talk about the fact they can drink loads of alcohol in their Hulk form, but if they go back to human form, they'll get the hangover. And they used it for very comedic effect, if you remember.
I mean, Hulk could probably, eat like live animals.
Probably. I mean, who wouldn't? Kingpin.
Well,
and finally, Hank Pym, Ultron. So, now, I don't know the story of this. Did Hank Pym become Ultron at one point?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was the last Age of Ultron story, actually.
Okay.
Funny Kingpin story. I had some Spider-Man action figures when I was a child, around the time of the animated series in the early mid-90s. And I'm playing with my action figures in the living room while my father's watching TV. And there's like a weight loss commercial that comes up. Might have been Weight Watchers, whatever. And it was a testimonial portion of the commercial. And the person looks at the screen and said, "I was fat." And so the commercial ends. I take my Kingpin action figure. I hide behind the coffee table. I plop him up on the table right in front of my father's, line of sight. And I say, "I was fat." That was the first time I ever remember making my father laugh.
Wonderful.
Because my father's a tough nut to crack as far as humor goes.
Yeah. Cool.
That was it was just so random. Anytime I think about like obese Kingpin, I think about me.
I'm with you. You cracking
him up on the coffee table.
Yeah. So we didn't get some of the kind of sections of the set there. So the ones at the end, the action card with the classic artwork, that's one that I pulled previously.
Okay. Very nice. That's a Fantastic Four with a Hulk.
Yep.
And then is that the little Fantastic Four jet?
It's their kind of jet thingy, yeah. And I do have, there are some characters in here that are currently banned from Up to Date, or they haven't at least reappeared, but they have reappeared. Obviously, the Thing.
Okay.
Is there. You just had Fantastic Four. There's a Black Widow to die for there for the Black Widow collectors.
Oof.
That's a beautiful one. But there is a Defenders one, but it's got that kind of slightly comic-y artwork that they had at one point.
Yeah.
The 90s one.
And then Blue Doctor Strange.
Yep, that's right.
That was like 95.
Yeah, that's right. Human Torch. You got some of the foil ones are brilliant. That's of Thanos and Thor.
Oh, wow.
So I think the thing I like about these is that the artwork is just really cool. I mean, if
it's
you're
eclectic.
yeah, lovely
You get a
Deadpool.
little,
If you're
you get
into
a little
Deadpool,
bit of everything.
yeah, you do. I wanted to show you that X-Men Jim Lee one. If I can find, look at that Captain America.
Oh wow.
It's brilliant. It's beautiful. So, they are definitely worth picking up, folks, if you can get them. Mr. Fantastic, Green
I hate to get
Goblin.
tangential, but have you seen anybody grade these?
No, not yet. They're so fresh out. And my understanding is, I think a lot of the big grading companies like PSA, CGC would need them in their database for you to be able to do it. So I don't know if they were quite there yet. Because if it was an American release, they probably already have it in there. But
Right.
if it's an overseas release, my daughter has laid dibs on that Ghost Spider. It's the
Wow.
Rico one, which is a lovely card. Where is that? There's a Howard the Duck. I mean,
It's great. It's a
you can't go
portrait.
wrong. I haven't seen your fella in here as yet.
No,
Now this one I have seen on an Upper Deck set. I'm sure I have that artwork.
okay. Yeah.
Pretty sure I've seen that Mary Jane artwork somewhere.
Part of
Grim
the
Reaper,
Spider-Man
Winter
poster.
Soldier, possibly, yeah. That's the X-Men one. That's the Jim Lee X-Men.
Oh wow. Yeah, you got Beast, Wolverine, Psylocke. Who's that back left?
Forge?
No.
Maybe no.
Or just a mustache. Gambit? Gambit with his shirt off?
Could be. I mean, it's definitely Danger Room kind of vibe going on there.
I think that's Gambit.
Yeah, possibly. But it's just the brushstrokes on the way he does Beast's fur. I mean, it's instantly recognizable as Jim Lee.
Right.
Beautiful stuff. So yeah, there's some great characters in here. There's some really good examples of the artwork. So if you're a character collector, there's stuff to chase for. I mean, there's multiple Thanos, Venoms. I think there's 2 different Lokis. There's Cap. There's all sorts. And some of the
Have you seen
some
the
of the classic
Spider-Man?
artwork.
Like a proper just Spider-Man?
I don't think I've got. I tell you what, I do like. There's the Matt Fraction. There's the cover to the Matt Fraction series, the Hawkeye one.
Oh, okay.
That's beautiful. That is the artwork. I do have a Spider-Man, but I think it's Miles. I don't think I've got the Spidey yet. Yes, I've got the Miles Spidey alter ego one.
Okay.
Which is good. But I don't have the regular one. So yeah.
But there is one.
Yeah, he's in the set. I mean, I think if you do a Marvel card set without having Spider-Man in there, it's like having an Italian restaurant and running out of mozzarella and red wine. I mean, you might as well close. So I've opened 15 packs so far, and I've got a pretty decent stack. There's a few dupes in there. So I might just get a few more just for.
So interesting random thought that I thought about as you're holding a stack of cards and showing the profile of them. How do they line up as far as the cuts and when you try to run your thumb from one side to the other? Because we noticed that in other with other releases, you could have a stack of base cards and there might be like several outliers that were
it's pretty flawless, and I've got it it is the QA on
just from a simply collecting never going to grade it standpoint.
They're really clean
profile.
It's really clean. There's no issues
there.
there.
That's something that might irk a collector is if the same
absolutely.
card miscut.
No, nothing I can see that's miscut. Nothing that was overtly off center because it is obviously a framed design.
And not to play devil's advocate now, but it begs the question: like, if they can do it, why can't everybody?
Exactly. So, but no, I dig it. I really dig it. I like it a lot. It's a nice little set. Talk to me about Marvel on the Brain.
Marvel on the Brain.
So for those who don't know, what is Marvel on the Brain?
Marvel on the Brain is the only Marvel trivia game show on YouTube. It ran for 3 seasons last year.
Mm-hmm.
The old format was that 3 players would play each other for 4 episodes, and that would be a self-contained season, and then there would be cumulative scores at the end, and a winner of each season declared. You were in season 3?
3? Yep.
with James Edel. Wonderful man who really stepped up and has done so much for the community in terms of
James is lovely.
finding the sources of card art. So I just wanted to thank him for that formally, publicly, because the last time I said anything about him formally and publicly, it was kind of challenging him to do better because you had done so much with the card community. Tony had done so much with his art, and I said that he kind of needed to hold the rope. And he has answered the call. And so I need to say that, thank you. I'm sorry, it was totally unnecessary, but you've gone above and beyond in terms of showing people where in comics certain art has come from that's been printed on cards. So after 3 seasons, the show kind of fell in on itself. We did a little.
You did a Champion of Champions, didn't you?
Did a Champions round where the winners of the first 3 seasons played each other in a one-off. Tony Perna was declared the Destroyer of Worlds, and
standard.
And then a couple months ago, I felt that it might be time to bring it back. One of the main reasons is that I still follow all these content creators on YouTube and Instagram, and between the economy and the hobby and what collecting has become and it feeling like in the work and the types of content that's being put out there, which people are trying really hard. They're putting a lot of work into it, but some of it just doesn't feel like pure entertainment. It feels like, you're listening or you're watching and you're walking away with questions and homework and notes. And there's not a lot of mindless Marvel content right now.
Yeah.
You could just watch it, turn your brain off, and then when it's over, it's like it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watch a weekly show about cards, and I might be inclined to let me go research that, or let me go look this up. Let me go follow this price. Let me go see how much this is, and can I get that? And maybe I could open this. And maybe if I could get one of these for $5 before everybody else finds out that it's going to be $50. And there should be something out there, like I said, that's mindless, pure entertainment.
Yeah. Plug and play.
And so that in mind, I thought, well, maybe I could bring this thing back. I would have to do it differently. There were it wasn't without its flaws. We had you guys writing down your answers. There was a little bit of dead air. Me standing there staring at you writing. So we made some changes. We modeled it after a popular television game show who, for copyright reasons, we can't say the name. Rest in peace, Alex Trebek. A lot more questions, different format. Winner stays on. There's a buzz-in system now, so there's no dead air. We do some editing and post so that it's a seamless production. I have an executive producer, Barry Burnett, roll with them from Louisiana, the Daredevil collector. Great guy.
Cool.
Has actually, he volunteered him. A little story about Barry. He volunteered himself during the first run of Marvel on the Brain by writing down all the questions from every episode and ranking them in terms of difficulty.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So he was a student of the show. And so when I told him I was thinking about bringing it back, he was all on board. He's like, anything I can do to help. I was like, if you could be the guy behind the chair, the Ned, clicking buttons, making sure, and I could just be the pretty face, that would be great. And he's done that. And we've recorded 3 episodes so far. So it's 3 players per episode. Winner stays on. So
Gotcha.
2 players each episode. The second episode just aired recently, and they're released every 2 weeks. And the biggest difference is, which I think is appealing to players, is that there's a cash prize now for the winner of each episode. You get a $25 eBay gift card for every episode that you win. So, if you write out the whole season, 10 episode season, you could win $250 just for playing trivia.
Cool. Love it. And is this on your channel, your Watch Me Open channel?
Yeah. WatchMeOpen.com.
Okay. Well, we'll put a link in the show notes for folks. So they can go and
click. There's also like a questionnaire for anybody interested in playing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We're pretty lax with scheduling, whatever works for the players. We appreciate people giving their time. It's fun. It's not too challenging. Hopefully that, even the casual viewer could learn something about Marvel, could maybe inspire them to want to learn something new about Marvel. We have the benefit. We got over 80 years of lore to draw from for this trivia, and we're really trying to explore that space and not make it oh, what color is Spider-Man suit?
Yeah.
So things that real fans will know and casual fans might want to know.
No, cool. I love it. I'm looking forward to jumping in. I haven't I haven't had bandwidth to even watch episodes 1 or 2 yet, so apologies for not having done so, but I will make an effort to have them on in the background.
You could have lied to save face and made me feel good in front of all these kind people.
I could have done, but I wouldn't ever do that to you because I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah, well, so, why would you shamelessly plug something for me?
I will happily shamelessly plug it. Listen, season 3 was
pony show.
Season 3 was excellent.
No, there's not even a pony.
There's a horse.
This phantom horse that doesn't exist has been dangled in front of me.
Did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy?
Of course.
So in the Ren and Stimpy episode where there's firefighters and they're rescuing a horse from a very tall building and they're carrying it down this ladder and they get this horse down and then someone from the press goes up to this horse and goes, how do you feel about being rescued? And the horse thinks for a minute and goes, no sir, I didn't like it.
I met the creator of Ren and Stimpy at a comic show. John
Crichfalusi.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's completely off his tits. I spent most of my time.
That's a good way of putting it. He's completely off his tits.
I know. Well, I was thinking that and South Park season 1 was during the period where I was smoking an awful lot of weed, so they were absolutely perfect to watch. Anyway, there are children listening. Can I show you my card surprise of the week?
Yes. So
you'll know, and regular listeners will know, I recently got my ComC delivery of several years worth of stuff that I just had stacked up, and I'm still sorting through it when I find time. And the biggest surprise I had was from the Thor Ragnarok set. There is a series of autos, and I'm not sure if this is for all of the ones, but the ones that are called Grandmaster's Prized Possessions have chain embedded in the card.
What?
That's actually a see-through panel. You can see my finger at the back. There's chain. There's actually it moves as well. Look. So that's Taika Waititi's autograph card in a really thick card with 2 pieces of chain.
Yeah.
In it.
That is pretty cool.
Which is like, and this doesn't look, when you're looking at it on APAC, you're like, oh yeah, it's his autograph card.
Right.
And then you get it home and you're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
That is very
cool.
It's
kind of a bonkers concept. I think his autograph's a bit, it is what it is. But yeah, as Korg, because of course they're kind of gladiators, aren't they? They're kind of in chains and made to fight.
Yeah, no, that's definitely an example of a bad scan turning in your favor.
I think that's amazing. Absolutely. I was floored when I opened that and saw that. I mean, that's a great little card. So I don't know how many others there are in that series, because there's another. Here we go. So the other, it's what confuses me about some of the sets they do, the MCU sets. They call the autographed cards like 2 different things and have 2 different types of design. So the other one is the Stars of Sakaar one, which doesn't have any of that rigmarole.
Yeah.
It's unnecessarily thick for an autograph card, but it
is thick.
Yeah, it's
for the listeners. We're looking at like 140
why is it that
point.
thick? That's ridiculous. And that's the actress Rachel House. And it's a lovely card, but it doesn't need to be thick. This one, however, I've just realised this is numbered. I've just spotted this is numbered.
Wow.
Out of 100.
100.
60 out of 100. So there we go. Surprise number 2. I've just spotted it as I put it down on the desk. That's absolutely crazy. There we go. So those chain ones are absolutely numbered as well. I mean, listen, everyone loves a gimmick to a degree. I possibly draw the line at patch cards on that. But I really like that. I think that's really cool.
No, that's great.
So there we go. That's my card surprise of the week.
Okay.
For you. I just thought I'd throw that out there. You're reaching off camera, so are you about to pull something out and show me something interesting?
So, might have mentioned to you at some point, a side project I started pretty early on was creating a set of sketches of villains representing each letter of the alphabet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Villains A to Z. So I'd pick a villain for each letter of the alphabet and get a sketch made for each of them, each by a different artist. So that's something I've been chipping away at. Some of them are on the ban list. Some of them, I just haven't found one that I liked. Some of them I've commissioned because I didn't expect to find one that I liked. So I'll show you an example of one that I didn't expect to find one that I liked. Zarathos for Z.
Okay.
I got Andre Osh.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that breaking of the border at the bottom.
So he did that. And then I was able to find an Enchantress for E by Rhiannon Owens.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's great. What sketch stock is that?
That's 2020 Masterpieces.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I was very lucky to find that. See, and then might as well Nightmare.
Oh,
you know who that is?
Is that Perna?
That's Perna.
Yeah, I was going to say the tightness of the artwork at the bottom.
Yeah. And then Tolene Keskin.
Nice. Omega Red.
Yeah. Toma.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's exquisite stock as well. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And let's see, without showing you all of them. So somebody who I've followed and he just keeps getting better. Foreman.
Oh, Chris Foreman's work is astonishingly good. I love that. That's nice. So you'll have 26 of these at the end of the day, yeah?
I will. And one that I was very lucky, I actually pulled this one in a box, a character that I wanted and an artist that I wanted. I pulled in a box that I got for like $80 at a show.
Oh, Martin, wow.
Yeah. From Complete Avengers, which I think is the first comic set that Rittenhouse did.
Yes, that's right. 2005.
The X-Men set was the first one that they did.
Yeah, the movie Last Stand, I think. Yeah, because X-Men 1 and 2 were tops.
Right.
So then Last Stand, I think Rittenhouse did it. That's
so,
cool.
Yeah, so I'm opening this box thinking to myself like, please be a Martinick, please be a Martinick, Martinick or Perna, because I'm looking at NS lists and I see the roster and I get to the last pack in the box.
Oh.
And in my mind, I'm like, am I gonna get boned on a sketch here? But even though knowing, after opening so much Rittenhouse that, the collation's solid and they're not going to bone you on what you're owed, but still getting that last one, it's in everybody's mind. It's like,
nice. So how far along are you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I hate you, Amanda B. She's probably watching this or listening to this thinking he has to count out loud. He can't count in his head. 15 out of 26.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, you're over halfway mark.
Like it's a slow thing because trying to pick one per character, you want to feel good about it.
It's got to be one you love. Yeah, which is why I'm really looking. But I haven't had a chance to do much of it apart from the first kind of pass. But trimming down to 79 cat sketches.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
What are you at?
Well, I haven't counted, to be fair. I've just done a first pass through the collection and said, right, definitely.
Be double, right?
Oh, I'll probably just over 200 in total.
Yeah.
So I'm easily over half, and that's official sketches because there's some PSC stuff that I'll keep because like Charles Hall, for example, I could never afford one of his pack sketches, and I got a PSC from him of Black Cat. It's beautiful actually. There's two. There's a black and white one, and then there's the color one. So he did two, and he did them himself, and I bought them off eBay.
Yeah,
stunning. So there's some artists like that, but and there's a few in there that were gifted to me, so I'll do those as giveaways and pay that forward. And yeah, so I'm just working through it at the moment. I mean, I might end up with less than 79 because I'm being quite harsh when I'm looking through them and going, am I feeling it with that sketch?
right.
And no slight to the artist if you see yourself on the chopping block. It's been part of a very, very well loved collection. Not that well loved. You are going to get a card in good condition. I should stress. But but yes. So and also even if I wanted to put them on sale, yeah, I can't because the Royal Mail is still screwed. So for those who don't know, the UK's Royal Mail, which are our postal service basically, had a ransomware attack source from Russia, and it took out all their systems that handle postage going out of the UK. So
Wow.
if I sold something and wanted to post it to someone in America, I can't because I'll go to the post office and they will not accept packages leaving the UK. So I'd have to use FedEx or DHL, which of course the cost just goes up massively.
Right.
So yeah. So until they fix it, apparently their systems are kind of getting there, but they're still not accepting stuff because they reckon they're clearing the backlog. So
I was not aware of that.
So yeah, so it's gnarly, and there's an awful lot of businesses that are suffering quite badly from it as well, as you can imagine. The amount of stuff that goes all over the world from the UK. So last thing this week, because we should probably get on and you can do your Sunday and I can go and drink alcohol. Do you want to open some Lego?
Yeah.
The Marvel Lego. It's like, who doesn't want to open some Marvel Lego?
Okay.
You're looking at me like, yeah, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So in the UK, you get these monthly little kind of comic things for kids, like Lego Marvel Spider-Man. This one is. There's a Lego Avengers one as well, and they come with a minifig, like sellotape to the front.
Interesting.
And so this month is Miles Morales. Now, a couple of episodes ago, we opened Carnage, which was on the previous issue. So this week, we have Miles Morales, and he comes with a skateboard and randomly a spider.
I thought for a second that he didn't have legs.
No, he's
just leaning back a bit.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's kind of hanging fire, whatever it is they say. You can see from the picture on the back that very clearly he does have.
He does have legs.
He does indeed have legs.
For the listeners, I was mistaken.
Short, stocky Lego legs, but they're legs nonetheless. They've recently gone to these packs being paper-based because they were very, very, very plastic, these poly bags.
Right.
Used to get
turtles' stomachs, years.
Exactly. Yeah. You know the whole thing. So, not to mention the fact that the Lego pieces themselves will probably be in that turtle stomach in 1,000 years' time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to angle the camera down a bit so we can see my desk. Oh, there we go. Right. There we go. This is fascinating listening for people, but get to YouTube. We're just shy of 500 subscribers on our YouTube. So hopefully this will push us over the edge. With you coming on, I'm sure it will. So there's his legs. This is little Lego legs. Okay,
gray pants, black shoes.
Okay,
for the listeners.
There we go.
We're attaching the legs to the body.
The legs are on the body, and look at the back. You can tell that's him because it's got a Spidey face.
Yep, Spidey face. He's wearing his little red zip up.
Spidey symbol on the front.
Suit underneath.
Right. So his head is there. It's got the little red lines.
The red lines.
Yeah. So I'm going to put his
full service podcast here. We do not want to shortchange you.
There we go. So I'm going to put the hat on the head first before I then put it on the body because sometimes that's a pain.
So there's a hood from the zip up that goes on the head. We've just attached the hood to the head.
Now, I've dropped his head.
We were in the process of attaching the head to the next stem.
It is on.
Seems we have okay. It's on.
We have connection. We have connection.
It
And
appears
we
to be
also
on
have
correctly.
right. So skateboard.
Purple skateboard.
Okay, one set of wheels going on,
Okay, axle has been inserted.
and the yep, Slash is wiping his brow. There we go. Let's do that one.
Okay, it does appear that this skateboard will be able to
It will.
roll.
There we go. We have a rolling skateboard. Look. Doesn't kind of keep going, but it does roll.
Yeah, there's no grip tape. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do any kind of tricks.
So these things, I think they're kind of his webby
His
parry
bioblasts.
things. Yes. So these just go. He kind of just holds these in his hand, and then you can kind of tilt them around.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, he's
That's
got
quite
some
cool.
sort of light blue energy coming out of his fists.
There we go. Both of those on. Affixed to skateboard.
He's on the skateboard.
Turn head to see where you're going.
I lean him back a little bit for balance. There we go.
There we are.
Eat your heart out, Tony Hawk. There you go. We have a completed. It's very cool.
I love it. I love it. He'll go in my little display box that I showed a few weeks back. Hopefully he'll fit, because Thanos and Carnage wouldn't, because their appendages were too big. So far in here I've got Iron Man, because the rest of them are all still packed away after the move.
Lego case, Iron Man.
It's pretty cool. Now you can open it up like this.
Oh.
And it's actually official Lego stuff. So obviously I can't put the skateboard in there, but I can put the figure in there.
Why not?
Well, because it'll just roll around on the little brick thing that goes in. So you see the shelf here.
Yeah, but is there enough room for it to roll around?
I'll put it behind. I don't know if I can put it on him, because he might be too tall. No, it will do. I prefer to have him fixed. So the skateboard's going to be behind him. There we go. So this is fascinating, isn't it? There we go. What I might do is put one of his blasts and he can hold the skateboard in one of his hands. Yeah. There he is. Skateboard's just behind him.
We're going to get an Emmy for this.
This is great stuff, isn't it? There we go. Next to Tony Stark, where he belongs. Isn't it brilliant?
Wonderful.
I love a bit of Lego. There we go. It's the Marvel Lego Collectors podcast now. I just enjoy opening these on video for people. It's just my little thing. Thank you, Billy. This has been fun.
Thank you, Ian.
You should come on again. Please, come on again. You're always welcome. Your money's always good here.
All right. Well, be careful what you wish for. I've been called the human form of herpes.
Really?
You cannot get rid of me.
Oh, okay. I thought someone has been dissing my boy Billy. Can't have that.
No.
Can't have that.
No, I just mean, like, well, once I'm in, we're bonded.
I forgot. It's still in the bag. This big ass Lego spider.
Big ass Lego spider.
Just randomly is in the poly bag.
Will that go on the ground next to him?
Possibly. People thought they were going to be able to escape then for a minute. But no, hang on. There we go. I've just shoved it in. I'll fix it.
As you do.
Yeah. Billy, sign us off so we can go.
Man, how does...
Oh, people.
You've been listening to the Marvel Card Collectors podcast. Enjoy collecting.
Thanks for listening to the Marvel Card Collectors podcast. Tasting notes and visuals for each episode can be found on our Facebook page. We're on most social media at the MCC Pod, and you can also watch the video of each episode recording on our YouTube channel. Leave us a voicemail via our home on anchor.fm/MCCP. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms. Please take a second to subscribe, like, and review our show wherever you find us. Our Facebook community is at MCCW, Marvel Card Collectors Worldwide, and MMC, Marvel Masterpieces Collectors. The great music we use on our audio version is called Rocket Power by Kevin MacLeod. Thanks to the collectors, artists and creators who support the Marvel Cards Fan Collective. We'll see you next time, and remember, it's a small hobby but a fun one. Make mine Marvel and enjoy collecting.